Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 15 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead! Behind the screen, Harper got a piece of it, it comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, breaks free of the 25 to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 on the toe, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh!
Toward Bryant, he will glove it to Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook, guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button. Now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to IG, make sure you follow Sports Zone Chicago on Instagram as well. So not only will you be following us on Facebook, but you'll be following us on Instagram as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent! And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, guys, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. My head looks like it's got something on it. It does. Crazy. Now, you can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI. At Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online. Want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Man, we got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook or our YouTube channel, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on a screen. We'll include the show. And that, my people, is what makes this the best Chicago morning sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let's check the chat, because the chat's jumped a little bit this morning. Rick Gonzalez checking in early, says, good morning, Shawn. It's so hot. Optimus Prime transformed into an air conditioner. Bear down at FGB. God bless it right, Rick. FGB. Hey, did you see Caleb? Did you see Caleb say FGB this weekend? It was at the, what was the name of the fest? There's a big music fest over in Bridgeview at SeatGeek Stadium. And let me see. Summer Smash. That's the name of it. Yeah, Summer Smash. You know what, Steve? I'm gonna send you this. If you could look it up for me. I don't know why I forgot about it earlier. Yeah, Steve, if you can I just sent it to you. It was crazy. It was a big old music festival all weekend at SeatGeek Stadium, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Caleb was there one day, And yeah, it was crazy. Sean Walls at the Mickey Picky House said, "What's up on a House Music Monday and another hot one in the Shy? You know it, baby. Man, it is going to be crazy out there. What do we got today? 96 today. 96 degrees. I think I'm going to the Orland Park Water Park. I think that's where you're going to find your boy today. I just need someone to put lotion on my back. Oh, man. It's going to be a hot one out there. Bring a bag of water. This looks all crazy. Anyway, great stuff. The Vet League checking in. It's like Happy House Music Monday, y'all. Happy House Music Monday. You see, I got my house music shirt on, baby. Yay, yay. That's what I'm talking about. James Ford checking in. Rick, he did. He did. When Steve uploaded, man, it's awesome. I got my buddy, my nephew Mondo. He asked if I saw it. I was like, no. And he said it to me. I'm like, dude, that is awesome. That is awesome. Yes, he did. He did. What up? Cornelius Coles in the house. What up, ShawnSierraSports fans? Cornelius, thank you for tuning in, Papa. I appreciate it. Big time. Rick says, I can't wait to see it. I'm telling you, dude, I was impressed. I was like, okay. Okay. Oh. Asking. Just see, make sure you got it, Steve. That's all. Just checking there. Cornelius Squalls, top of the morning of the vet. Sean, James, Ford, Rick, bear down. I am excited. We got a good show. We have a lot to talk. Baseball teams in action this weekend. White Sox, the good guys side. I'm happy to talk about them for the weekend. And the Cubs, I'm happy to talk about them as well for the weekend. So I love it. We got Chicago Sky action to talk. Sky had a rough weekend this week. I see it. I got it, Steve-O. Thank you. Sky had a tough weekend this week. Yeah, that was rough. And then Game 7 of the NBA Finals was yesterday. We previewed it last show on Friday. It was it. The best two words in sports, Game 7. All right, the Indiana Pacers traveled to OKC Thunder. All right, Indiana had beaten them already, Game 1, so they knew they could win on their home court. OKC also knew that they could lose on their home court because they lost Game 1. Excuse me. And it was a great start to the game. And then something happened. Talk about that. Wow. It really sucked what happened. Changed the outcome of the game, the course of that game. And it changed the course of a lot of things. And we're going to talk about some of the fallout from what happened early in the first quarter in the NBA Finals Game 7. Man, that was tough. So, but yeah, we have a lot to talk about, baby. We have tons to talk about, and I can't wait to get it cracking with you guys. I came to you from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Our last show, across the cheese curtain. And I'm telling you, there's just something weird, something different about the people in Wisconsin. they're just not. I'm not being funny. I'm not being facetious by any stretch. They're just some weird looking Mother Hubbards in Wisconsin. Every year I see it. Every time I go to Summerfest, I see it. Every time. Crazy. But I digress. No need to pick on the less fortunate. Let's put it that way. Let's leave it at less fortunate. We'll just leave it at less fortunate. That's it. Let's see. Shawn, yes. No, they're the second youngest team. OKC is the second youngest team to win the NBA. The first was the Portland Trailblazers. I think back in 76, 77. I think that was with Bill Walton's team. Yeah. Yeah. So my man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. checking in. What's up? Oh, snap. Armandito. Good morning, mijo. Jeremiah. Good morning, mijo. Both of them together. Both cousins are there. Pop Armando is very, very happy. His heart is full. Both his grandkids spent the night are at the house. That's awesome. So good morning, Edito. Good morning, Jeremiah. Yeah, good morning to you too, Junior. But that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Glad you two can watch. Wonderful. But yeah, Shawn, OKC is the second youngest team. And that's scary. That's a scary thought, man. That's a scary thought because the way with which they play is crazy. And not only that, remember, they have like 30. I'm exaggerating for effect. They have a boatload of draft picks, first-round draft picks that they can use if they need anything. You know, they can go get it with a couple of draft picks. Just wow. OKC might not be going anywhere for the foreseeable future. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Rick said, Seth Rollins' wife came out in WWE Raw last Monday, decked out in Bears gear in Green Bay. I saw that. The fans started chanting, Bears still sucked, and she shut them up. She shut them up by saying, we beat you the last time. Yeah, we did. She did. I saw that. That was awesome. That was awesome. Remember? That was awesome. So we got a great show for you. We have some great highlights to check out and a lot of Chicago sports to talk. We have some national sports to talk, and that's the NBA Finals. Okay, but again, mostly Chicago sports. But we do have to touch on the national stuff, like the NBA Finals. So let's get it cracking. Guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to
you. Let's see. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Here we go. Cubs. Cubs. Fall. The Seattle Mariners 14-6. Woo! They lost the rubber match of the series yesterday. They lost that series. Colin Ray got the start. He got the loss. He's 4-3. He went 5 1/3 inning. Pitched 11 hits, 7 earned runs, 1 free pass, and 2 punch outs. Seiya Suzuki, man, you have a day, young man. 2 for 4, 2 home runs, 19th and 20th of the season. driving in 3 RBIs, 62, 63, and 64 on the season. King Tuck, Kyle Tucker, he was 2 for 5 with a home run, his 15th of the season, driving in his 45th and 46th runs of the season. And Reese McGuire was 1 for 4, hitting his 4th homer of the season, driving in his 6th RBI of the year. Man, it was a homer fest, and believe you me, the Cubs were on the wrong side of it yesterday. 9 homers at Wrigley, and Seattle just took advantage of it. Seattle took advantage of it, and the Cubs did not. And they lost the series 2-1. You darn right. Hey, I didn't, or did I send that to you, Junior? I didn't send you the L. Every time the Cubs lose, I send them. Let me take this down. I told you every time the Cubs lose and the Sox win or the Sox don't play that day, I'll send them the L. Because me, Junior, and his son Mondo are in a text thread. So every time I send them the L. They sent me the they were talking shit on Saturday after the Cubs won and the Sox lost. And I forgot yesterday to give it back to him. But speaking of the Cubs, we'll stay there with your Cubs. The Cubs, they travel to the Lou to face the Cardinals for a 4-game set. First pitch today is at 6:45 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on the Marquee Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 6:70 a.m. The probables for today's game: the Cubs, Ben Brown is on the bump for the North Siders. He's 4-5 with a 5.57 ERA. Going up against Matthew Liberatore. He's 4-6 with a 4.08 ERA. You know, you got a 4-game set with the division rivals. All right, they're only 4.5 games back. Okay, but you have a decent lead in the division. You got a 3.5 game lead over the Brewers. Okay, but here's a chance for you to separate yourself from the Cardinals. They're 42 and 36. All right, they're 6-4 in their last 10. Cubs are 5-5 in their last 10. Milwaukee 7-3 in their last 10. You got to make, and I know it's early, but you still got to make more, give yourself more space, make more, separate yourself from the rest of your division. All right, you're in St. Louis. The 4-game set. And sweep would be nice, okay, but at least split it. The worst you can do is split it. The worst Cubs can do is split that. You cannot lose that series 3-1 or get swept. You get swept, Milwaukee's probably going to win at some point in that time, and they could jump in the first, and you would be a half a game ahead of St. Louis if you lost all 4. I think you should be able to at least split it, maybe 3 out of 4. It's going to be a tough one. It's a rival at their place, but Shota Imanaga is actually coming back. He should be pitching this week. So you have the cavalry is on the way. So Cub fans, at least you have that to be happy about. Next top of the morning topic is the White Sox, baby. The good guys from the South Side went across the border, went north of the border this weekend for a 3-game set. Man, they took 2 out of 3. That's what I'm talking about, baby. The White Sox, they beat the Blue Jays 4-2. Adrian Hauser. He started the game, got a no decision, went 6 1/3, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 punch-outs. Miguel Vargas 2 for 4 with a game-winning hit, his double, his 20th of the season, driving in his 33rd and 34th runs of the season to give the Sox the 4-2 lead. Luis Robert had an RBI, his 31st of the season. It was awesome. Bases loaded for Miguel Vargas, 2 strikes. Just didn't try to do too much with it. Blooped it, got it down over the shortstop's head. Down to the left field corner, 2 runs scored to give the Sox a 4-2 lead with which they held on to. And You know what was really awesome about that? I'll tell you. Let's take this down and talk about it. What was about that is they were trailing after 7, the White Sox. And last year, and trailing after 7, the White Sox were 1-95. 1-95. So for all intents and purposes, when you had the Sox down after 7, you won the game. Out of 96 games, okay, they won once after trailing after 7. They just gave up and quit. And to see this team come back and was, again, further confirmation that Chris Venable is the guy to lead the squad. Further proof. I'm liking this young team. Okay, you just took 2 out of 3 from the Toronto Blue Jays, as I said, going up north of the border. All right, they're 41-36. All right, they're 40-34 going into this weekend set. You took 2 out of 3. And remember I was telling you, and I'm not saying this is the turning point of it, Rick. But remember I said there's going to come a point in time that the Sox are going to start winning some close games. All right, the Sox are going to start winning some close games. All right, they're 4-20 in 1-run games. Well, yesterday was a 2-run game. I forgot they said it on the broadcast what their record was in 2-run games. I'm not saying this is the turning point where they're going to win the rest of the close games. I'm not saying that by any stretch. What I am saying is they could start to turn it around. Okay, Miguel Vargas coming up and bases loaded, 2 strikes, doesn't get too crazy, doesn't try and knock it out of the park, just tries to barrel it up, gets it over the left side of the infield, down in the left field corner to bring in 2. This could be it. Okay, and I just want them to win more 1-run and 1- and 2-run games than they've lost. Okay, if you can go from here on out the rest of the year and win more 1- and 2-run games than you lose, we'll be sitting pretty. Michon says the Sox may have a future closer. They might. I don't know. They talk about the youngster, Taylor. The guy throwing 100 miles an hour coming out of the bullpen. Because you might. Grant Taylor got his first save yesterday. He's scheduled to be the top of the rotation, yes, or not, but he's part of the rotation. But for now, remember the White Sox have done this a lot with Chris Sale, with Garrett Crochet. They'll throw studs in the bullpen first. All right, you'll come out of the bullpen first because now you're only going a couple of innings at most. Okay, maybe 1 inning at a time or 2. And a lot of the pressure is off as opposed to having to go through the lineup 2 times. You know what I mean? So you get in there, gets inning of work. And right now, Grant Taylor, he's throwing some gas. Got his first strikeout, some high heat. His first save, I think his first strikeout was the other day, but he threw some high heat. Got his first save yesterday. And I think it's crazy how, you get people who are starters, projected starters or starters, and as their skills develop, and believe me, I'm not saying Grant Taylor's skills have deteriorated. Okay. But sometimes it makes best sense for them to extend their career by moving to the bullpen. Case in point, Dennis Eckersley. All right, the Eck was a starter. And then he switched to the bullpen, became a closer, became one of the best closers in the game. So Grant could just go that route. That could be. I don't know. You know, maybe they still have. They have belief in him, and as I said, they just kind of feed him a little bit. King Book of World checking in. What's up, Papa? I said salute everyone in Shawn. I missed the damn show on Friday. Yeah, I was coming from Wisconsin, bro. I was up across the cheese curtain. Went to Summerfest on Thursday. So I woke up, did the show from the hotel room. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, Papa. I appreciate it. But listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we're going to finish up. We have more top of the morning topics, all right? So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago.
Operator 901, where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushrooms.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency line.
How long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Okay, is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe. But some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
No, I don't know, though. I'm scared.
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Maybe. I don't know.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Teal completes the strikeout by throwing down to first. First punch out of the game for Hauser.
Toronto 1.
Back-to-back punch outs here for Hauser. On the ground, and it gets through into right field. First hit in the ball game for the White Sox. Sticks out the bat, and that's going to get it done. A fair ball down the left field line. 2 runs will score And the Sox retake the lead 4-2 here in this 8th inning.
Welcome back to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of CHSN, Chicago Sports Network. Those were the good guys from the south side across the north of the border yesterday. And you saw Miguel Vargas's 2-run double late in the game in the 8th to give the Sox the margin of victory that they would win by 2 runs, 4-2. Got caught up at work. It happens, Papa. I get you. Hey, don't worry about it. I appreciate, I appreciate your love and support, bro. I do. So I know if you miss one day, I get it. So don't trip. Let's go. We still have more top of the morning topics. Oh, staying with the White Sox. The White Sox today, they host the Diamondbacks tonight. They're coming home at Wright Field. All right, first pitch is at 6:40 p.m. Central Time. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. The probables for tonight's game: Arizona, Eduardo Rodriguez, who's 2-4 on the season with a 5.93 ERA, going up against Shane Smith for the good guys. He's 3-4 with a 2.85 ERA. I like Shane Smith. I love when he pitches. This guy is a winner. He's a baller. He has such mound presence, command. I love it. I love this young man. He's just been hard. He deals with hard luck, man. He doesn't get enough run support. This guy had some run support. His record would be a little different, a lot more of the positive than it is. But there's another chance for him to come out and compete. That's all you ask for with these guys. Is to compete. All right, you saw them come score some runs late. Maybe they do it again today. Maybe they don't need to. Maybe they get up early. Maybe they like Chicago voters vote often. All right, they get up early and often for Shane, and he can cruise. So we'll find out today. But looking forward to it. 6:40 p.m. Central, first pitch. The next top of the morning topic: Sky. Yeah, that was a rough one. Sky went down to the ATL and lost to the Atlanta Dream 93-80. Ariel Atkins led the way for Chicago, 29 points, 5 rebounds. Elizabeth Williams, 16 points, 5 rebounds. And Angel Reese, after having her worst rebounding performance of her career, 2 rebounds on Saturday. She comes back, 10 points, 19 rebounds. And not all of them were rebounds. Not all of them were rebounds. What I think is dope is she actually copyrighted or patented the phrase "me bounds." I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty dope. She patented that phrase. Staying with the Sky, the next top of the morning topic. Tomorrow, Sky hosts the LA Sparks at Wintrust Arena. Tip-off is at 6:40 p.m. Locally, you can catch that game on the U, Channel 26, the U. They are not a good basketball team. Okay? They are not a good basketball team. The way they're constructed is poor. And yeah. Shohei is in the house. What's up, Papa? It says, hey, Shawn, chat. I miss you guys. I have so many meetings at this time of the day. I cannot chat, but I'm here. Boss, I appreciate it. I was telling King Booker, well, I know we all got lives, man. And I appreciate the fact that you're going out of your way to chime in and say hello. It means a lot, man. It really does. I appreciate it. Big time. Big time. You think you're big time? You're going to die big time. Thanks, Papa. Yeah. You're saying under 3 ERA and only 3-4 record. That's because he doesn't get any run support. He doesn't get any run support. Here comes the pain. Carlito's Way, baby. That's a classic movie. You know what? Excuse me. I think I need it when I go get my T-shirts. There's a spot I go. All old school T-shirts. I want to see if he's got any Carlito's Way T-shirts. You think you're big time? You're going to die big time. Here comes the pain. That's classic, King Booker World. You got me fired up this morning. You got me fired up, Papa. Thank you. Next top of the morning topic, man. This was a tough one. Woo-wee. This was a tough one. NBA Finals, Game 7. Oklahoma City Thunder defeat the Indiana Pacers 103-91. The score was much bigger than the 12 points. They beat the Pacers to win their city's first NBA title. League MVP, scoring champ, and MVP, Bill Russell Finals MVP award recipient, SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He led the way with 29 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists. Jalen Williams, his partner in crime, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Chet Holmgren, that big three that they have, and Chet is a big dude, 7 feet, 7'2", something like that. He had 18 points, 8 rebounds. We talked about this earlier. You know, this is a young team that is the second youngest team to win an NBA title. I think, as I said, the Portland Trail Blazers were the youngest, the Bill Walton Portland Trail Blazers. But they're not going anywhere. This OKC Thunder. Do you realize that Alex Caruso at 31 is the elder statesman? He's the one that pushes it up to 25.7. He's 31. I'm so happy for Alex Caruso, former Chicago Bull with us for 3 seasons. And I know there are a lot of people who just, when he came here, people were like, why'd you get this guy? Why'd you get this guy? And I was like, there was a young lady that I was having a conversation with who had played basketball, and she's like, why did you get this guy? He's a bum. And this was literally 2 or 3 days after my cousin from LA called me, and she was mad as a mother Hubbard. She's like, you guys got Caruso. You guys got Caruso. I'm like, yeah, who's Caruso? She's like, trust me, you're going to love this guy. He's the reason we won, one of the big reasons we won the title in the bubble. Said, you will love Alex Caruso. I promise you. I'm like, all right. It's like, if you say so. Like, Alex Caruso, big deal. Man, did we not love that Hutmet son of a gun or what when he played for us? Did we not love those dudes? I mean, that dude, did we not love Alex Caruso here in Chicago? So, and then I called my cousin afterwards. I'm like, I think that's the first season or midway through the second. I'm like, I see why you guys are mad about him leaving. I was like, yeah. I was like, wow. And the defense that they played, at OKC played, was intense. It was smothering. They let a lot go, though. And that's my issue with the finals. Like, DJ McConnell. He's dribbling up with his right hand, kind of keeping his left hand in front, and the defender is grabbing his left arm. Grabbing his left arm while he's dribbling up the court. I'm like, you can't grab a dude. You can't grab the arm of an opponent who's dribbling the ball. there were some very questionable calls and no calls in the final. And I'm not saying that it affected the score, the outcome. I still think OKC would have won, especially after what happened to Tyrese Halliburton. I didn't talk about that. Man, this was a tough one. If you saw the thumbnail today, man, this sucks. Pacer guard Tyrese Halliburton goes down the middle of the first quarter with an Achilles injury and did not return. Yeah, he popped it. You know, people talk about, well, I don't want to speculate. Listen, I played football for 30 years. I coached for 15, 16 years. I know an Achilles pop when I see one. I know an Achilles pop when I see tear when I see one. A rupture, if you want to call it. It ruptures Achilles tendon. When they showed it in slow motion, we got that film. That was tough. And the sad part, the thing that hurt me was when he snapped it, when he knew it, he fell to the ground. He's pounding, he's slamming the freaking floor, saying no, no, no. Because he knew. He knew exactly what had happened. You saw the way they carried him back. Take a look at this. We have to caution you. It could be very disturbing.
Halliburton against SGA. One-on-one on that side. Nembhard kicks it out. Toppin. Good contest from Dort. Halliburton falls down. He looks hurt. Here comes SGA the other way. Inside, and Williams throws it down. Halliburton's hurt right away when he fell. Of course, that strained calf. He's in pain. So emotional. It's the right calf right away. He knew he was in trouble. Oh, you get in a situation like this, you're just sick to your stomach for the young man.
Saw it pop. Man, that clip those clips courtesy of ABC. I felt for him, man. The biggest game of your life. Your life. The biggest game. It's not even close. There's no other game that you played up to this point in your life that is bigger than the game you were in yesterday. None. None. Not game 1, not game 2, not game 3, not game 4, not game 5, not game 6. You're in the biggest game. Game 7 with all on the line. Winner take all. Winner's NBA champ. Loser goes off into obscurity. They are the butt of every joke. They are the answer to the trivia question. Who KC Thunder beat? That's who you become. Who you would have become had you lost. And they did. It was the biggest game of his career, and he got hurt. That's why he was crying. Don't get me wrong, the pain, but I'm telling you, the adrenaline probably masked a lot of the pain, but he knew what happened, and that's why he was crying, because now he can't be there for his team. And let me tell you, I haven't had a serious injury playing football for 30 years. Thank goodness. Knock on wood. Okay? Didn't have a serious injury. I had a knee scope in 99. I was back in 3 weeks. Not serious. I mean, I guess anytime you go into the knife, it's serious, but it wasn't a knee replacement. It was just a hangnail tear in my meniscus. Never had a problem since. Before that or after that. I had to miss about 2 games with the Thunder. And let me tell you, those were the worst 2 games of my life. I was very, very, very fortunate to have a a career that was predominantly injury-free. Those 3 weeks, 4 weeks that I was back, that I missed, I think I only missed 2 games. We had a bye, and another team folded. So I went to the championship, and I'll never forget we were playing the Lions at their place. And I tried to give it a go. I think it was my ankle. It twisted my ankle. The RICE treatment, rest, ice, compression, elevation, RICE, rest, ice, compression, elevation. I stayed off it. Tried to give it a go and just couldn't do it. So I didn't play, and I'm watching the game, and you talk about the most anxious. First of all, I was pissed. I was mad because I had not missed a game with that team like 2 or 3 years. The first 2 or 3 years, I didn't miss a game. It might have been more. Maybe that was later in my career. But anyway, you talk about the pain I felt knowing I couldn't help my teammates, my brothers. Let me tell you something. You go through all this stuff in the offseason, in training camp. All right. You spend a lot of time together off the field, outside of training. You spend time, you become family with these guys. Hell, me and Junior. His kids call me Theo. It means uncle, for those of you who don't know. I've known them since before they were born. And to not be able to help your team is one of the most helpless feelings in the world. And it was Game 7. That was it. Winner take all. That's why he was crying. Pain, yeah, I'm sure that had a little to do with it. But the fact that now I let my brothers down. And he didn't do it on purpose. It's not like he said, I'm not going to train him. No, it's not like John Starks in the 95 finals where he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. He got injured. And man, does that suck. My heart goes out to him because now he's got a rehab. How long? 8 months? You're in the middle of next season. When does he come back? And then you got to ramp him up. You can't just throw him out there. Okay, you're back at 28, 30 minutes, 35 minutes. You just got to the NBA Finals. Carlisle's he coming back? Who's your big man? I can't think. God bless it. The longest tenured pacer. Goodness, I can't think of his name. Miles Turner. Is he thinking of retirement? All these things change every single season. Is different. The roster never stays the same. It can stay the same the majority of the way, but never is the same. Never does the team have the same people 2 years in a row. You got draft picks coming in. You got free agents that leave. Free agents that want to come over there, and then you got to rebuild that chemistry all over again. Getting to the finals is tough, and because you get there once doesn't mean you're going back. Ask Dan Marino. Excuse me. And who knows? There are a plethora of things that can happen, good and bad. So you got all this, you put all this weight, tough series against New York to get here. Man, can they get back here? That's the question. Everybody's going to get better. Hell, our Bulls are going to get better. I'm not saying the Bulls are going to be a threat to the Pacers next season. Yeah, you did. You can see the pop. Yep. Let's see. Black Diamond checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you? It's the top of the morning. Pissed that we lost this series. They're not better than us. No, they weren't, but this weekend they got you. And yeah. You talk about Halliburton's dad. Pop should know to sit his ass down now, yeah? Cornelius says, man, I hated to see Caruso go. I love him and I'm happy for him. Yeah, he was a great dude. He helped create an identity for us. King Book of World says, Rick, for real, go through your whole life playing and no serious injuries. Then you get in your 40s and you can sleep wrong. Dude, the hell is that? I hear you, dog. I hear you. I hear you. Because Rick says, how crazy is that? You're injury free, but now as you get older, you're afraid to cough because you might throw out your back. And I'm telling you, bro, it is the truth. You crack a rib. You can crack a rib sneezing. Are you serious? That's crazy. You sneeze too hard and you can crack a rib. Let me tell you, cracked ribs are no fun. I got those in 2006. First time we won the national championship game with the Thunder. I won one in 99 with the Chargers. In that playoff, the championship game, we're playing at St. Xavier's. We needed to run the clock out. And I just got hit the series before. I got hit right in the ribs. Oh, I was breathing like that's all I could breathe because any deeper any inhaling of a deeper breath would hurt. But I'm like, no way, because we were only at 5. I want to say that's the force. We were only at 5, and I'm like, there's no way. We got to run this clock out. There's no way I'm trusting anybody else. Anybody else to run this clock out when they need to run the clock out. Man, I carried the ball in my left. I felt like Emmitt Smith. I carried the ball in my left hand, whether we ran to the right or to the left. I had the ball here. So I couldn't hold the ball up against my ribs because people were coming after the ball. If they're coming after the ball, they're going to hit me there. Oh, man, it was crazy. So I get it. I get it. Getting old does suck, man. You guys had never lied. Oh man, but back Burton, crazy because all that, and you saw it in the announcers, and I saw it too, and the announcers made a good point. I think they think OKC was more affected by it because now their star players out. You're like, oh, their level of focus was gone because now you have their best player out and like they were like, oh, okay, their best players are out. He's out. Cool, we got it. And Indiana just refused to quit. Then at halftime, their coach must have laid into him and said, hey, listen, I know it's not how you want to win it, but that's not our fault. That would have been that's been my speech to teams. If a star player goes down that we're playing against, like, hey, listen, don't lose focus. It sucks about that young man. It does. And I know you wanted to beat that team with him playing. But we can't do that anymore. So all we need to do is win. And that had to be the message from OKC to the team at halftime, because they came out ready. They came out, that lead jumped. They were only trailing by 1, but man, they went up 8-10, quick, fast, in a hurry. Don't worry, flavor vision ain't blurry. I was like, damn. They got a good ass chewing, a good talking to at halftime, and said, hey, you got to let that. They're going to fight, but they don't have enough. And OKC came out and did their thing. Congratulations to OKC. I think it's a potential for a dynasty there. Potential is there. We got to see how it plays out. We thought there was a potential for Golden State. I don't know if you call it a dynasty. They did win 4 titles, but the last one took a while. I guess it's probably close to it in today's NBA. So, congratulations again to the Oklahoma City Thunder. What an accomplishment for those guys. What an accomplishment. So we're going to take another break. On the other side of the break, we're talking a little baseball. All right? So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings. I have my dogs. They're the best. I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport like that.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Everybody in a work zone is someone somebody.
This is my mom. She works for KDOT.
This is my dad.
This is my mom.
This is my daddy.
This is my sister.
This is my daddy.
This is my son, Scott. He was killed while working in a highway work zone. When you drive through a work zone, drive like a life depends on it. Because it does.
OKC 10-2 on their home floor in the playoffs, but that includes the Game 1 loss to these Pacers, where they blew a big fourth quarter lead. Gilgeous-Alexander finds some space, knocked down his first shot hard on SGA. Gilgeous-Alexander goes right at him. Baseline jumper is good.
To navigate one-on-one situations into your sweet spot. That is SGA at his best.
Halliburton gets inside, shot blocked. They greet SGA at half court. Gets past Turner, kicks it out Caruso. Gets another good look from three. That's good. Caruso off the bench with back-to-back three.
Welcome back to ShawnSierraSports and Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of ABC. Game 7, baby. I'm telling you. That talk about the agony of defeat. Because at that point, you knew it was over. I was hoping. I didn't think that they'd be able to. But you just say, well, maybe it's one game. It's one game. They're up. It says 24 minutes. I was like, I don't know if they're going to be able to withstand okay. I said, because I was telling someone yesterday. I was talking to the Smoke Fellows yesterday. I said they're more deliberate. They're talking about they're playing better without Halliburton. I was like, yeah, they're more deliberate on offense, but I can easily see that going off the rails if OKC pushes the tempo. It's exactly what I said. What did OKC do? They push the tempo. They push the tempo. They turn up the screw. They tighten the screws defensively. Defense turned into offense, and they just couldn't handle it. Wow. Couldn't handle it. Young team. Wow. Wow. Watching those teams yesterday made me realize how far away our Chicago Bulls are. You know what? Before we get to that real quick, the Phoenix Suns. This was crazy. The Phoenix Suns traded Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets. You already see the mock-up. That shit's in there already. The internet is undefeated. He traded Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the number 10 overall pick in this year's draft, and 5 second-round draft picks. I'm talking NBA draft like Wednesday. On Wednesday, yeah. Let me change that. It's to trade. Phoenix Suns to trade Kevin Durant because that trade can't be made official until I forgot when they said it could be. When they're gonna do that. Yeah, I can't remember. It doesn't say, but it's got to wait. Got to wait a week or two before it becomes official. And here's the crazy part: it was Houston and Miami were the final two teams that were in the running for it. And I guess Miami lost out because Miami refused to include any of these three guys: Jaime Jaquez Jr., Nikola Jovic, or Haywood Highsmith. They refused to include any of these three guys or their number 20th pick or other draft assets. This is according to Shams Charania. So they wouldn't include any of these guys their first round pick this year or any other draft assets. Pat Roddy, you know these old guys are stuck in their ways. The older you get, the more stuck in your ways you get. Because it sounded like Miami had a really good chance to get him had they included some of these pieces here. That's crazy. Cornelius, yeah, the way Halliburton started off, I knew the crowd was nervous because he was hitting everything. He knocked out three triples, 3 3-point shots. I was like, man, he is. And in that same thread, I was talking to the Smoke Fellas in that same thread. I said, Halliburton has come to play. It's right after he hit his third three. That was at 7:17. At 7:25, I said, shit. Looks like his Achilles. Fuck. 8 minutes later. Halliburton was on one, man. It was about to be a game 7 for the ages. It was about to be a game 7 for the ages. Man. Kevin Durant has more proof of how great Jordan was. The guy only has 1 ring after all those stops. No, he's got 2. He won 2 at Golden State. They won back-to-back. He was Finals MVP both years. But I get your point. All those the dream teams and the super teams, and you got 2 rings. Yeah. Sons of biscuits. Sons of biscuits. Speaking of, and this is awesome. This is awesome. Game 7, best 2 words in sports. Doesn't matter. Baseball, basketball, hockey, doesn't matter. Game 7 is it. Scottie Pippen chimed in and threw some shade. This is petty. Petty! Scottie Pippen was being Petty Murphy right now. It was crazy when he chimed in. Here's what he tweeted. NBA Finals Game 7? Never heard of it. Scottie P! NBA Finals Game 7? Never heard of it. Scotty's petty. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's petty. Petty. Remember, in 98, they did go 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals against these same Indiana Pacers. Remember that. Remember that. Yeah. Oh, Rick's like, kill a video, por favor. Oh, man, it's thirsty. Like Diamond said, you never heard of it because it's the GOAT. Yeah. Well, let's not get it twisted. Scotty was a huge part of that, too. Scotty was a huge part of that, too. Let's not get it twisted. Scotty can be an old, senile, crazy mother Hubbard right now, but let's not forget that was Batman and Robin. That was one hell of a Batman and Robin. Right? Scotty did his part in the finals as well. And almost took him to the finals in 94 if it wasn't for that bullshit call by Hugh Hollins on Scotty closing out on Hubert Davis for the 3-point shot. Remember that? I know you do. Scotty would have led them to the NBA finals. How crazy would that have been if Scotty led them? I don't know if they would have won because they would have played Houston. Scotty would have led that team to the NBA finals. Let's not get it twisted. Mike was a man. Ain't no compare it. Mike was a man, but Scotty did almost had him if it wasn't for that bullshit call on that Hugh Hollins made and gave Hubert Davis 3 free throws. Bullshit. Like, I was pissed at 94 and I was 14 and wanted to kick Hollins. You and every single Chicago Bulls fan, bro. I want to whip his ass too. Oh my God, I want to whip his ass. If there ever was a case that they needed armed security and armed to get out of the building, that was it. That was the case. Hugh Hollins' ass. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Dude, I remember like it was yesterday. We're like, no. Oh man. That was nuts. I was cursing at the TV, and I know you had to be, unless you're in front of the folks, Black Diamond, you probably weren't cursing, but I was cursing in front of the TV. Whew. That was June of 94. Yeah, I was still in New York. I was in New York. No, Italy. 93, 94. Yeah. I was cursing like a Mother Hubbard, man. I would curse Hugh Hollins. Shorty, I'm still pissed. Oh, man, that was egregious. That was egregious. All right, before I don't, Rick's gonna kill me if I don't do this. So over the weekend, Caleb was at Summer Smash, that music festival, and he went on stage. I forgot what artist he was with or was on stage with. But they show him in the stands in the box, like a suite. Has some very nice words for our neighbors.
Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay!
Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Yes, sir!
There you go, Rick. There you go, Rick. Black Diamond says, Shawn Shorty, I was livid. My G had to say, boy, watch him out. And hey, believe me, I know, because at that point, you'd have taken a whipping. If you'd have got a whipping for that, you'd have taken the whipping. Like, because I had to say what I had to say to Hugh Hollins. I had to let him know through the TV screen that he's a piece of shit. It'd have taken that whooping if it came. Like, oh well, I'll take it. Rick, there you go, Bubba. There you go. You saw him say it twice, right? As soon as it starts, and then you could see him yelling. You saw him say it once, and then you saw him. You saw the back of him kind of yelling again. But yeah, you saw it. Want to see it one more time? Let's see it one more time.
Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay!
Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Yes, sir!
Black Diamond, I was going to take that out. I hear you, dog. I hear you. You be one to spit in very nicely. I agree. I told you my respect for him increased when I heard when he said, "Hey, you know what? Fuck it. Let me go to Chicago. I'll be that dude. I'll be that dude." Shorty, this was at allegedly Summer Smash at SeaGeek Stadium is what I want to say. Rick Gonzalez says that's my QB. Shorty. Hell yeah, Rick. I know that made your day. I know that made your day. Illinois. That was at SeaGeek Stadium where the Chicago Fire used to play on 71st and Harlem. Summer Fest is where I was. That's in Milwaukee. Summer Smash. That's a music concert. Well, Summer Fest is a music festival as well. Summer Smash was the festival here in Illinois. Like I said, it's literally adjacent to Chicago. So Bridgeview, where the festival is literally next to Chicago. It's adjacent to Chicago. So, yeah. Shorty says, sweet. That's my QB too, Rick. Well, again, I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he decided to come here and do his thing. We're in a dead period now. NBA finals are over. Stanley Cup finals are over. Everybody's on vacation from the NFL for another 4 or 5 weeks. All we have is baseball every day. All we got is baseball every day. And if you're a Sox fan, it's tough. Cub fans, you have a lot to look forward to. But when it's not like fall, when you got baseball, basketball starting up, hockey starting up, football starting up, it's the best time of the year. But we're going to do our best to keep you entertained as we wait out these couple of seasons. It's good that they have the WNBA season now because, one, it couldn't compete with the NBA nor the NFL. Hell, the NBA can barely compete with the NFL. The NBA just got bogarted. They got bumped out Christmas Day. The NFL, see what the NFL said? Like, I think we're going to take over Christmas Day. And there's really nothing you can do about it. It's like Eddie Murphy. She said speak, so she spoke. And there's nothing they could do. Nothing. So here's where you're going to see a whole bunch of articles and clickbait and unless you hear it from reputable sources. I'll be one of your sources because I'm not going to say, I won't repeat it unless I hear it from people that I trust. I know there was an article going around saying Cole Kmet's going to be traded. Stuff like that is what you're going to get this time of year because it's dead. It's the dead time. It's the dead period. All right? There's people are rabid football fans. A lot of rabid football fan bases. And so you got to get something for people to talk about when there's nothing to talk about. Maybe some tape breakdown, Shawn. Okay, you know what? That might not be a bad idea. Okay, we can do that. We can do that. Mr. Shorty says, I just saw an article by NBC when I opened up on a web browser at work that read, can Ben Johnson fix Caleb? Fix what? Well, there's a lot of things there's some things he's got to work on. Come on, Shorty. I know you're part of the Caleb cult, but there are things he needs to work on. All right, there are plenty of things he needs to work on. He's not a finished product. Fixed 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Yes, because if that's not the best of his ability, then yes, it needs to be. There's things that need to be corrected. Did he play the best? Was that a perfect season for Caleb? No. I agree. He was a rookie. So if he's a rookie, you don't think there's room for improvement? You don't think imagine if he would have got rid of the ball and didn't have, what, is it 58 sacks, 68 sacks? If he didn't get sacked that many times because he held the ball too long. How much better the situations could be. There are things he needs to work on. And I'm not saying, I didn't say he had a shitty year. All right? Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. Fix. Yes. Fix. One. Last year he missed a lot of receivers. Open receivers. That, for whatever reason. I don't know if he locked on Rome and didn't look and wasn't reading defenses properly. That needs to be fixed. Okay? That needs to be fixed. 2, get rid of the ball. You can't be Superman. You're not in college anymore. You're not playing Utah State where you can run around and wait for your receivers to get open. That's a mentality. You can't do that at this league. Not yet. That needs to be fixed. He just say, hey, listen, if my things aren't here, I'm running or I'm throwing this son of a bitch in the first row. That needs to be fixed in his head. Shorty said he was a rookie. At least he missed them and they were not picks. Manning threw 28 interceptions as a rookie. Manning didn't have DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, and Cole Kmet neither. He didn't have them either. Remember that. So, and you also got to, yeah, but it's a different time. You're acting like we had eight Hall of Fame quarterbacks before Caleb, and he has to live up to them as a rookie. No, I'm not acting like that, dude. It's not. What I'm saying is that he had a lot to work with last year. And he did a good job of utilizing the talent that he had. He did a good job of utilizing the talent that he had. Could have been better, but he was a rookie. Could have been better, but he had a shitty offensive line. I'm not saying, hey, he had probably one of the best rookie years a quarterback could ever have. We should all be happy with his results with the garbage-ass coaching staff he had. I hear you, and here's what I'm going to say. That coaching staff was bad. I don't think it's as bad as people want to say. I don't think it's bad as people are saying. And I keep hearing this thing about the Eberflus situation. And to me, that bugged me, Shorty. That bugged me. When Caleb said, or whoever, it made it seem like Caleb said it. That he watched film by himself. He didn't watch film with a coach. That's bullshit and that's a lie. Okay? And remember I would come on here and say, yeah, I don't buy it. I don't believe it. You remember that, guys? I said, I don't believe it. I said, that's part of Shane Waldron's job. So you're just going to go in and work and not do your job. So then when Caleb was asked, he's like, well, what I meant was, you know what? He knew the response it would get by saying what he said. He knew the response. When you say I wasn't watching film with coaches, I had to watch film by myself. You're lying. You're lying. From high school to college, definitely in the pros, your coaches watch film with you. And then remember, he said, oh, well, what I meant was I was looking for someone to give me a shortcut. Now you're backpedaling like Deion Sanders because you knew what you said. You knew the reaction it got. You started the firestorm, and then when confronted, what happened was I'm not defending Flus and Waldron. What I'm saying is they did their job. Now, they did it poorly. They did it poorly, but they watched film. And when you make it, they did a shitty job. Don't pile on. That's a low blow. To say that they didn't do their job, now they did it just poorly, but to say that they didn't do their job and Waldron didn't watch film with them, that's a lie. That's a lie. And that bothered me. Brian, are you kidding me? What was if our receivers couldn't get open, how did Caleb have 3,500 yards? If our receivers couldn't get open, how does Caleb have 3,500 yards? This is not speculative. This is fact. 3,500 yards he had. He actually had more yards than a Super Bowl winning quarterback had. So this is what I'm saying. Stop reading, stop listening to people who don't know shit about football. Stop listening to people who don't know shit about football. Don't listen to football. There are very few people who've never played the game that I trust and listen to what they have to say. Because you can't tell me receivers couldn't get open, but Caleb threw for 3,500 yards. King Booker Will said, if someone would have made a bet with me that Eberflus would be worse than Nagy, I'd be living on Lower Wacker. You lost the house on that one, huh? I hear you, bro. I hear you. I hear you. See this, and that's what people want you to believe. This is what certain people will say, and then common football fans, they'll regurgitate it to someone else, and I'm like, I ain't the one. I ain't the one. Do not come at me with, oh, well, receivers couldn't get open. That's not going to fly with me, dog. Because I need to know how Caleb got 3,541 yards if receivers weren't getting open. Because that, you know, Jaden Daniels had 26 more passing yards, 5 more touchdowns, 6 more interceptions. He's a god to the NFL media. Coaching matters. Some smart guy said that one particular time. you know, it's not just that. Here's Jaden Daniels had more. It's not about the yards. This is what I'm telling you. There's an eye test that has to be had. There's wins that need to be earned. Jaden Daniels won games. Caleb didn't. Oh, let me take that back. Not as many. The one game he was very, very dramatic, and so you look at those a lot more. We wanted, I get it. I know Caleb his numbers weren't that crazy far from other people. Here's what I was asking about. All right, Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl winning quarterback, 2,903 yards. Caleb, 35-41. So again, first, please don't tell me receivers couldn't get open. You don't throw for 3,500 yards as a rookie with a shitty offensive line getting sacked 65 times and receivers aren't open. Yeah, when a coach loses the team, there's no coming back. One of the worst rooms to be in is a room where you don't want to be. I've been in that situation a couple of times. Yes. Listen, Shorty, I agree. This is healthy debate. There's nothing wrong with it. This is not personal. I don't take it personal. It's okay, bro. This is healthy debate. I just see it a certain way. Caleb's only going to get better. He should be. He should be getting better. And you're damn right, Rick. FGB. FGB. Cornelius says, I'm quite sure Jaden Daniels' coach wasn't responsible for as many losses as Eberflus. Probably right. King Booker, you're a fool. I'm taking everything personal. I'm mad now. We'll yell at someone in another chat room. You're gonna, shoot up the club just because. Shoot up another chat room just because. Listen, one thing that I'm saying, what I want to say is this. And maybe you didn't like the term fix. Okay? Because it seemed like that's what triggered you. Shorty was fix. Okay? That seemed to trigger you. Improve on, change habits. Okay. Anyway, whatever way you want to call it. Let's not forget, people use those words to get the response that you just gave, to elicit a certain response because you were pissed. What do you mean fix? What does it do? A lot of people click on it and say, what does it need to be fixed? Well, people click on it so they go see what this writer feels Caleb needs to fix. You know, it's called clickbait. Words are powerful things. Words are powerful things that people need to know how to. People need to be careful, leery of how they use them. Use them a certain way to elicit a certain response that got you. So let me ask you a question, Shorty. Did you click on that article? Shorty, did you click on that article that you saw? Because whether you did or didn't, it's on your work computer, so you couldn't do it. But if you're on home, if it was on your phone or your laptop at home, would you have clicked on it? Well, regardless of whether you would or would not have, guess what? A lot of people would have, because they'd have the same response as you did. What do you mean fix Caleb? What does this stupid ass mean? Caleb doesn't need to be fixed. What's he talking about? Click. Words are powerful. See how that elicited a response to you, a response from you? This is why I got mad at Caleb. When you said I had to watch film alone, you insinuated that there's no coaches with you. Words are powerful. He knows that. That's what got me wrong. And now you have to shit you shit on an outgoing coach. Get it? You didn't like him. You didn't like his staff. Cool. Don't shit on people. Don't make them look worse than they already look when it's actually not necessary. We knew how bad he was. We knew how many games he lost. But to lie about him and say that you didn't have coaches watching film with you and then backtrack and say, I meant, that's childish bullshit. That's childish bullshit. Take your feelings for Caleb out of it. If someone did that to you, how would you feel? If someone did that to you, how would you feel? They lied on you, and when confronted, like, well, what I meant was, what had happened was. That's why I have reservations about this young man. Because believe you me, I have no questions about his talent. No question about his talent. None. Now it needs to be coached up. It needs to be molded. But I've never, ever questioned his talent. Ever. Even back to the Civil War when I wanted Justin to stay. I never questioned Caleb's talent. Never. Anyone who's watched this knows I've never questioned his talent. But yes, it needs to be honed. His skills need to be sharpened. He needs some improvement. He needs coaching. I agree. This is why it elicits a response. Fix is much different than improve or take the next. Again, if someone said, but you got to understand, they're trying to elicit a response from you. That's why it's called clickbait. So you can go click on the article because they get the more clicks or advertising money they can charge for their articles. All right, you get people clicking on it and they have 10,000 people. Guess what? Now that reflects in the amount of the amount they can charge advertisers in their article. And that's the problem. This is what he has to fix or improve on. Shawn, Caleb is a big game hunter, holding on to the ball and holding on to the ball looking for a bigger player, two different things. Justin Fields held on to the ball too long. Justin Fields, yes, Justin Fields is a big game hunter as well. Except Justin said, fuck it, I'm running. I'm running. And that needs to be fixed. When you hold on to the ball too long, let me get the long pass. Let me get a 60-yard bomb. That you need to take singles and doubles. You can't just hit triples and homers all the time. That is a mentality that needs to be fixed. That needs to be corrected. If Caleb hits the singles and the doubles and lives to fight another down, he'll get 42 to 4,500 yards. Think of he was already 35. No, his big game hunt wasn't. He wanted to throw. Do you remember him? He loved throwing the ball downfield, deep downfield. It's just that when things collapsed around him, he ran. The ball downfield, you have to be able to sit back in the pocket and wait for it to develop. He wasn't able to do that. he wasn't able to do that. But Caleb doesn't run like Justin Fields. No, he doesn't. So what he needs to do is this: the most important thing you can do is know your attributes, know what you can, and more importantly, know what you cannot do. And don't do them. So what we need for Caleb is a mobile quarterback. So what I need you to do when the shit breaks down, I need you to run for a first down and slide. I need you to run for a first down and slide because you still have the capability the next play of hitting a big play. But I don't need you standing back there waiting for a 60-yard bomb and getting sacked. That's it. Put your team in a better position. Don't get caught behind the sticks. Because if you throw on first down and you get sacked, well, guess what? Now it's 2nd and 16. 2nd and 17. Not a good place to be. I don't remember in all my time coaching, my offensive coordinators having too many plays for 2nd and 17. I don't remember too many plays on their play sheet that said they had plays in the category for 2nd and 17. So that's what needs to fix, his mentality. Sometimes you got to hit the check route. Sometimes you can throw a ball and it's a -1 yard loss. Fine. I'll take that over -7 in the sack. Throw a swing route, the running back gets tackled 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage. Fine. Now it's 2nd and 11 as opposed to 2nd and 17. 2nd and 11 is not ideal, but it's a hell of a lot better than 2nd and 17 or 18 or 16. You follow me? That needs to be fixed. He needs to be rewired. And yeah, you see some guy going down the field, but he's not going to be open yet. You have to wait and you don't have it. You got to hit it. I get it. That has to be learned. Like, okay, I got you. I'll get you next time. Don't worry. Receiver comes back and say, hey, listen. Like, hey, man, I had him. Tell him. I didn't have the time. I was pressure. I had to get it off here. We'll save that for when we need it later. And I think, and Ben Johnson is a guy that's going to really help because look what he did with Jared Goff. Jared Goff was basically a throwaway. The Rams were like, we can't win a Super Bowl with you. We got to the game, the big game, and we realized you weren't the guy to take us to the top. So goodbye. Then he goes, gets rebuilt by Ben Johnson, and leads the number 1 offense in the NFL for the last couple of seasons. Now, if Caleb can get to that status where we have the number 1 offense in the NFL, guess what? We're going to go pretty far in the playoffs because our defense is pretty good. Our defense is pretty good. So let's not get – I get frustrated too like that, Shorty, when people say shit and they do stuff like that just for clicks because that's all that was. That's all that was. It's you got to get people's you have to draw a tug on their emotional heartstrings. Good or bad. And that's what good writers or good editors, whoever labels the article, whoever does that, they're good at it. Because you saw how pissy you got. And I get pissy the same way when I see stupid stuff like that doesn't need to be, you know what I mean? It could have used a different word. That's all. You're funny, dude. Shorty says, get off my lawn. Shawn has turned me into a get off my lawn Shorty. My nephew Mono's like, I tuned in the show and all I hear is 2025. Get off my lawn. Shawn is back. Caleb will be better because Ben Johnson's ability to attack defenses is second to none. I agree. But it's not just his ability to attack defenses. It's his ability to get the quarterback to see the game that Ben Johnson wants you to play. You can attack defenses all you want, but if the quarterback doesn't play the way you want him to play, what good are your schemes and your setups? What good are they? He's got Jared Goff believing that you can be a pretty damn good quarterback, one of the best in the league. And guess what? Jared Goff was one of the best in the league. So now, with Caleb, I need you to change this, Caleb. I need you to do this. Because if you start hitting these singles and doubles, guess what that's going to do for the long ball, for the triples and homers? Guess what that's going to do? But also, look at the receivers he has. Look at the talent that he has. So you hit a check down to DeAndre Swift, that thing can go to the house. That can go to the house. That's a 2-yard pass. Then he takes 60 yards. Guess what? You get that 60 yards, Caleb, on your stats. As opposed to trying to throw it 50, 55 yards or 60 yards into the end zone. You take this. That's the one thing he's got to understand. Young quarterbacks who are great have to understand you have teammates. Let them do what they do best. Put them in a position to be successful. You get the ball to DeAndre Swift on the corner, out of the linebacker, you got some yak. Give it to your playmakers. You don't have to do everything. But there's certain things his mentality needs to be fixed. That needs to be fixed. He can't just sit there and expect to go big game hunting all the time. That's a mentality. You got to change that. That has to be fixed. That has to be ripped out of your thought process for the most part. You get the short game down, the intermediate and the deep passes are going to be so much more available when you master the short game. Because when you master the short game, guess what happens? Now those star receivers, the Luther Burden, who led the NCAA in yards after catch, the DJ Moore, who's a man-to-man killer who can run after the ball, Roma Dunze, who led the NCAA in receiving back in 2023, all those guys that you got can run with the ball. So if you get it to them short and they run, guess what? They're going to change their defense. And now what you do? Now you make adjustments, and now you can go behind them. Dig and duck to the 35-yard line, then go for the end zone. Stay away from the red zone, in my opinion. You can dig and dunk, and I wouldn't even say dig and dunk. I'm just saying, because there's going to be a point, and this is where Caleb and Ben have to be at the same point. Because if you continue to hit the short passes, they're going to have to adjust. They're going to have to adjust. I'm telling you, from a defensive coordinator standpoint, I got my ass chewed out plenty of times. They keep hitting the goddamn slant. The linebacker out, I'd have to make sure the linebacker ran to the slant's face, a whole bunch of stuff. Change. There's going to be spots. There's going to be chances. There's going to be chances deep. Because they have to adjust your short game. They have to adjust your short game with your receivers being able to run after. So that means you got to bring a lot more people up, because when he gets it, you want, as a defensive coordinator, you want him hit almost immediately, if not sooner, or pick. You want that hit, boom. So now you get double moves. Now you got moves on the backside. Things go well. Zacharias King Booker World, the hot take, Zacatecas will lead the wide receivers in touchdown. You're a fool, boy. Bingo, Rick. This is where Komet and now Colston Loveland should thrive in the red zone. Because Cole Komet's 6'5", Colston Loveland 6'6". You guys have followed me, who have followed me for a long time, know I am adamant about jump balls. Adamant. Remember they used to do a Megatron and Peanut? Those were some battles. Randy Moss and Peanut Tillman, those were some battles. Remember, I think it was Randy Moss. He jumped up and had it. Peanut's hand was in there, grabbed the ball, ripped it out in the end zone. Interception. Shake what your mama gave you. Throw it up to Komet. Throw it up to Colston Loveland at 6'5" and 6'6". Rick's like, I'm being the smartest. I can't stand Komet. But this is where they would thrive. Listen, I want this team to do well. Okay, and there's certain things that need to change. There's certain improvements, all right, that Caleb needs to make. All right, there's definitely improvements that need to be made. If he can, watch out. If he can, watch out. Because what he's going to do is first of all, it's going to be record-setting here in Chicago, for starters. But secondly, the NFL is not going to be ready. NFL is not going to be ready for a Chicago Bears team that's going to throw the ball. That's going to score a lot of points the way they do. And when I say, I get ready to say throw the ball a lot, but you don't need to throw the ball a lot to have a lot of passing yards. And I think that is what that's the thing that Ben Johnson is going to instill in Caleb. We don't need to throw the ball 50 times for you to have 350 yards. We don't need that. If you let the run game do what it's supposed to do, in your what's the word that I want to use? Not diabolical. Shoot. Sometimes having a big vocabulary, you can't remember the words you want to use. Oh, goodness. Methodical. Thank you. When you're methodical about things, this is why it's important to be disciplined. This is why, as a quarterback, you got to be even keeled. You're going to have to see what they're giving you, not take it initially. Say, okay, I see what you're doing on this route, or in this situation, third and medium. I see what your defensive coordinator's doing. I see what you as a safety are doing back there. All right, I got it. If we need it, I'm going to go to it. If we don't need it, I'm going to save it, because if we have to come back and play you in the playoffs or the Super Bowl, depending if it's NFC or AFC team, I have that in my mind, how you play in these situations. This is where Caleb has to get better. This is where he has to get better. You allow the be methodical enough. And being methodical is boring. It's lethargic sometimes. Hand the ball off, slant, curl, quick out, quick in. Okay? Tackles, gain of 3, tackle, gain of 2, tackle, gain of 6. Oh, missed tackle, runs for 12, first down. That's how it happens. And the receivers that they have are receivers who can make big plays after they have the ball in their hands. So get it to them. Let them make people miss and do what it is that they do well, and you still get the yards. You still get the yards. King Booker Wealth says, that's why I don't use big words, Shawn. That means I got to remember them. Manning football, yes. How many slants did he throw to Marvin Harrison? How many slants? But after Marvin Harrison, how many slants did he throw to Reggie Wayne? And then just when you think you got a beat on it because you came up when you just missed it, guess what? Boom, he plants his go slant and go. How many times did we see Marvin Harrison wide open past the secondary? How many times did we see Reggie Wayne wide open behind the secondary? This is what I'm talking about. Give me the slants. Give me the outs. Remember, he had Dallas Clark. Dallas Clark, a 5-yard out. Tackle. Guess what? 2nd and 5. Now we got the whole playbook. We're not behind the sticks. This is what Caleb needs to learn. This is what boring football is what he needs to learn. But by boring, I mean slants, hitches, even some screens, some curls. That's boring football. Tell him, Rick. Favre and Rodgers did it for years. Did it for years against us. And then when we changed, we made an adjustment. Guess what? Bingo, they got you too. They made the adjustment too. They are ready for your adjustments. This is what Caleb has to understand. We know what we're going to do when you make your adjustments. But if you don't stop this short stuff, shit, we'll take this all the way to the end zone. We'll get inside the 15. We'll throw it up to Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland, DJ Moore. Swing it out to DeAndre Swift. Get a guy one-on-one. We'll do that. But when you adjust, here's what we're going to do. That slant turns into a slant and go. That curl is a stutter and go to a corner. I hope they bore the hell out of me with 28 points a game, King Booker World. Yes, that's the whole point. Did you see, watch great quarterbacks. Tom Brady, Drew Brees. They didn't hit 50 yards on the first play of the game. No. Boom, slant, hand off the ball, tight end out, tight end curl, dig. Boom, boom, boom. 12 plays, 72 yards, 6 minutes, 45 seconds. That's how they do it. No big plays necessary. They just went down the field methodically. And when Caleb gets that and understands that, this offense is going to be freaking amazing. That's what I'm talking about. That's what he needs to get to. Whew. Man, 2 hours is coming and going. I want to thank you guys. What a phenomenal set. It was a phenomenal show. You guys were awesome. The chat, we're healthy debate. That's what I'm talking about. Great stuff. I appreciate it. Shorty, ain't no hard feelings. We're just talking. King Booker World, Shorty, Rick Gonzalez, Patty, Jr., Armandito, Jeremiah, King Booker World, Black Diamond, Mashun, Cornelius, Mondo, everybody else. Great stuff. I appreciate it, guys. You have a phenomenal day. It's going to be hot again here in the Chi. It's 90 degrees already. It's 11 o'clock. Whew, I got to go pick up the warden. I think I'm going to go end up heading to the Orland Park pool. So listen, do yourself a favor. Let your loved ones know you love them. Reach out. Let your people know. Make some plans. All right? Lunch, brunch, dinner, drinks. Doesn't matter. Do it. You'll be glad that you did. All right, I'm going to replay this at 6. Lakina and Sid are coming out at 12:15 Central. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Have a phenomenal day. Your boy is out.